Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Sunshine Islands. It is the 20th day of summer, and you can see by the weather that I am stuck inside because I got my first typhoon today. So we've, once again, knock on wood, been fairly lucky with the storms and typhoons. We got quite a few blizzards last winter, but we managed to survive all of spring, summer, and fall of last year without a typhoon at all. And I've gotten through almost all of summer without one. So we're gonna go to bed, wake up tomorrow, and we're gonna kind of go and see the damage and see if the typhoon destroys anything really, really important. If it does, what I'll probably end up doing is just continuously reloading my save until I get some favorable damage, minimal damage, whatever you want to call it. We still have a few days from the fishing contest, but I thought that it was a good idea to showcase the storm, since that is pretty exciting, I suppose. It's kind of a rare event, even though it does happen, and I have a few other things to talk about. So on my assets menu here, you can see that I've been busy making my money back. I've also been chopping down stumps like crazy. I already have 153 pieces of lumber in my shed, which is fantastic. And I also managed to get another sunstone off screen. I got a sunstone from riding Kirk's boat to Volcano Island, and it's actually a good thing that I got this sunstone because I was under the impression that I already had it. So it's a good thing that I was actually able to get it and save over that point, and then I can cross it off my list for real. Looking at the damage to our field, all of our crops are completely fine, which is fantastic. There's not a single crop here that has been destroyed. Again, excellent, I'm glad, because we still want to get more harvests of corn and tomatoes and such. It looks like our animal enclosure for our barn animals took a little bit of a hit. You can see that there's a gigantic boulder in the middle of my grass, and I believe that this boulder here is also new. But otherwise, the farm looks okay. A lot of weeds, unfortunately, of course, and this big boulder here is new. But it looks like it's also brought me some additional branches, because I certainly didn't have this many branches on the farm on the 19th. This whole big area right here, this big clump of branches was mine, so it's given me some more material to chop, which is excellent. I do plan on going to check on my trees very, very shortly. But I also want to take time in this video to trigger Lily's green heart event, which we can do early in the morning before she leaves, so let's go do that. Greetings, Nick. I'm organizing. Exploration leaves little time for cleaning, regrettably. Ah, this panda, it intrigues you? It may seem an odd traveling companion. Well, if you have it with you, it must be important. Indeed, it's my most precious possession. It saved my life. Long, long ago, I was treasure hunting in a cavern and the whole place caved in. I thought myself in grave danger. I didn't even have time to run. But then, out of nowhere, this fell on my head. It served as a cushion of sorts, so I wasn't trapped under the rubble. What was a stuffed panda doing in a cavern? That is a mystery for the ages. But why question fate? This saved me. It has been my traveling companion since that day. I tell you this as a sign of trust between us. I ask that this tale finds no other ears but yours and mine. Well, all of YouTube knows, sorry. Ooh, and look at that. It actually turned her heart to a yellow heart. So we do in fact get heart points by watching their heart events. So it's good to know that now, even though we've only waited until now to trigger her green heart event, we can go ahead and trigger her yellow one. We can get a little bit more affection that way, and then from there on out, she should be continuing on her way to a red heart. So considering that she was so far behind the other candidates, she's caught up relatively quickly. And of course, Chelsea is just gonna be very, very, very slow going. Still at a black heart, unfortunately. That hasn't changed. If we look around town, you can see that the storm has swept in a bunch of stuff. It swept in some herbs, some weeds, some branches, some stones. So lots and lots of stuff for us to forage and lots of stuff for us to pick up. I want to go and check on our trees really quick because I'm a little worried about my trees. What's the weather like tomorrow? Oh, it's gonna rain. Okay, so there's no point in me putting my animals out. That's good to know. I did put up fences. I put up all my fences the day before the storm, so my trees should be fine, I hope. You can see that some of them, the fences were completely obliterated by the storm. Whew, it looks like all of my trees survived the storm, which is excellent. If I hadn't put fences up, there's a very, very high likelihood that I would have lost a couple of those trees. And most of those trees, a few of them are actually very, very close to getting to their final stage. And looking at the rice paddy here, they're still not ready. It's still not prepared. We have to let them grow a little bit longer in order for them to come in. But we didn't lose any of our rice either, which is great. So a little bit frustrating, I guess, a little bit irritating that we've got a couple of large boulders that are kind of in this area. But in all honesty, if that's the worst that's happened to my farm in a typhoon, I'll take it. That's very, very minimal. All I have to do is just put a few yellow wonderfuls into my hammer, and I'll be able to smash all of those and get rid of them. So just a few more things to mention here. I have made some progress on the wild animal island. I have given enough fish to the ducks so that they will do some work for me. So if you talk to Cherry now, he will give us the option to have us hire animals to do work for us, but the trick with it is you cannot ask the animals to do any work unless you feed them. So even if they have a high heart level, you want to feed them any day that you want them to do work for you. So in my case, I've been feeding them fish. Once you have some food in their bowl, you can talk to Cherry and you can get the animals to help you out. So in my case, I can ask the ducks to go fishing for me. And what they'll do basically is they'll take a whole day to go out and help you with whatever task that you assign them to do. and then you come back the following day to gather the supplies that they have gathered for you. So if I come here tomorrow when I speak to Cherry, I will be able to get the fish that they catch for me. And I was looking into Elisa's heart events. Now again, she's not technically a bachelorette because you cannot actually marry her, but she does have these little heart events, and I don't necessarily talk to Elisa a lot, but I have been giving her blueberries in the summer, and I've given her her favorite gift, which is ice cream, a few times. So I thought, well, what's going on? She has a few hearts. She has 4 hearts, and I haven't been able to see any of her events. And as it turns out, you have to raise the Harvest Goddess's hearts as well in order to see her events, which is a real pain because I've been ignoring her, obviously. I haven't really paid much attention because I got what I needed out of the goddess, and I thought, well, I don't need to befriend her for any other reason, but if I want to see Elisa's heart events, I'm gonna have to raise the Harvest Goddess's friend points, which is a little painful. Elisa's first event takes place when she has 3 hearts, so if the Harvest Goddess was at 3 hearts, we would be able to see that event. So if I want to start seeing the optional events with Elisa, I'm gonna have to befriend the Harvest Goddess. Now, with the timing of me wanting to complete this game sometime sooner than later, I'm still shooting for probably year 5, I may have to do all of those heart events in my own time, kind of make a separate save slot and play that off screen and separate from the recording, because I don't want to have to wait. I don't want to have to put off marriage, I guess, until I see those, is what I'm trying to say. Because even though you can't marry her, I think they still technically count as romantic events, and so you couldn't see those if you were married. So I'll figure the logistics of it out. I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with that. The Harvest Goddess is fairly easy to please. I can give her the flowers that I have in order to increase her friendship. If I had fruit, that would be even better. Strawberries are her absolute favorite. Like I said, I'm probably just going to reload this day and play on my own, so that's why I'm not really doing anything today. I haven't really touched anything. I just wanted to get the few little updates that I had into the video. Now, I skipped over the cat festival because we do not have a cat still, and there wasn't really much point in me recording a video for the cat festival, but what I did was I hired the Harvest Sprites on the 17th to help me with my fishing. So I made a bunch of food for the cat festival. I went to the festival and I fished and I fished and I fished until I was absolutely sick of fishing, and I actually did it in 2 different sessions. I fished for a little while, saved my game, and then I came back and did some more fishing. And even with all of my fishing, I've sort of tried to ballpark estimate what possibly my fishing points could be, and there's pretty much no way that we would be able to start catching medium fish. Now, catching medium fish is not going to help us in the upcoming fishing contest, because in order to win the fishing contest you have to have a large fish. But it would have been nice to see the next step up in fish size, because with medium fish you can actually use it in different recipes and they're worth more money. As you fish more and more and more, you can eventually catch large fish, and you can also catch some treasures and some other things through fishing. So what I hope to do is I hope to hire the animals. And why don't I actually just go to bed and we'll show what... Oh, well, I'll wait for Denny. We'll go see what the animals have caught for us. We'll go see what it looks like when the animals bring us things. So you get fishing points for a variety of different things. You get fishing points every single time you put your rod in the water. You get fishing points for catching fish. You get points for shipping items, even empty cans, boots, garbage, fish. You get points for catching fish, so I mean it all adds up. So what I'm hoping is if I give one fish to the ducks, it will allow me to keep increasing their hearts, but what it will also do, you can see that it has actually brought back a medium fish for me already, just by chance, which is fantastic. So if I give the ducks one fish and they bring me back, say, 3 or 4 fish a day, and I ship these fish, it should also increase my fishing level. I'm still gonna have to fish. That's not a plan that would get things moving really, really quickly by any means. But I think that it's a good idea just to do that for now, because even if the ducks have a low heart level, they can still by chance bring me large fish, medium fish, treasure. They can also fish up $10,000 tickets, stuff like that. So right now you can see that the ducks have 3 hearts, which is the minimum that you need in order for an animal to start working for you. So you can see that the badgers have 2 hearts. If I were to keep giving them food, they might start working for me if I chose that. And then the monkeys, of course, I've just been giving them monkey food, and if I keep at it, eventually I will be able to have the monkeys working for me. I chose to focus on the ducks just because I thought it would help with my overall fishing level, and because I learned that you can actually make golden lumber in your kitchen rather than depend on the monkeys to bring me golden lumber. I can also ask the ducks to go fishing for me, and there's a chance that they might bring me $10,000 tickets. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if the ducks are successful, and if I get some good items, and if I'm able to get my fishing level up without having to do as much work, then that would be great. I may or may not be back tomorrow for the fishing contest. Again, we're not going to win. So I don't know if it's even really worth going to, but we'll see if I have anything else to update on. That was pretty much everything that I could think of. I just had a few things that were sort of going on that I wanted to talk about. And other than that, I'll just keep playing and come back when there is something to talk about. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.